Guys, DrakeCourage here, and today I'm back with part 2 of my ExtremeRate customizing my controller. And today we're going to be adding 2 buttons on the back. Here we got all the wires and stuff, and we got the screws and everything. So let's get these open. This is part 2. If you want to see part 1, you can go check out part 1. It might be at the end of this video. Have to see. But yeah, I have the BDM 303 controller. I'll open that in a second. So follow these steps and you'll be able to get the 2-button back installation. It's like an installation guide. So yeah, you can also get the 4 one, which is what I was gonna get, but I don't think I need all 4 of them. I don't know if I'm gonna use them like that. I think the 2 of them will just be good. That's just for me though. But maybe for you guys it'll be different. It'll be different. But I'm just going to stick with the 2. So you got to use the little prying tool to pry these up. So let's try to see if we can get them good. And then I just like to use my hands because it just feels better. See if I can get this. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Then you want to take out both the bumpers. See if I can get them out without them flying across the room. They fly no matter what. It's a little difficult. There we go. That's 1. That's 2. Boom. We didn't get them to fly. Now the screws here and here you want to unscrew. And here, back here. So I'll start with the front. And I'll just unscrew these. Boom. Now, really you can do this in many different ways. Let me clear out this. Really, you can do this in many different ways. You can just pry it open with your hands, which is a little difficult, but I do recommend. But you can also use a prying tool. There's B2 little clips right here. I just gotta get them unhooked. They're unhooked, and then you really just gotta get them unhooked, and just I just like to use my hands actually. It's just much easier, to be 100% honest. I'm not like dissing the prying tool, but using your hands is just easier. And then you'll get something that looks like this. Set this away for right now. Then you'll get some that looks like this. You want to take out the battery. Is what you want to start with. And now the reason you want to start taking out the battery is because it's kind of mainly in the way. So to get to everything else, you need to you just gotta shimmy your way, and boom. Then you got the battery out, right? Now you have all this. You want to unscrew this little screw right here, so you can just get it out of the way. And then get this whole panel out of the way. Now I want to be careful of this ribbon down here, because if that's, gets like dislodged or something, that would suck, because it's your mic. So now once you have something that looks like this, you're going to want to undo some of the ribbons. Like, get a ribbon right here that we're going to want to undo. You're going to want to undo this ribbon too on both sides. That one. There's a ribbon up here that you're going to want to undo. Boom. And then there's a ribbon right here that you're also going to want to undo. Shimmy it out. Slowly and steadily. Boom. There you go. Now what you're going to want to do is unscrew there's going to be 2 screws right here. You want to unscrew them. Now you want to pull this part away from the back panel. And you want to get your touchpad. Now, if you're not going to solder your touchpad, if you don't want to solder your touchpad, then just skip till the next part of whatever I put on the screen. Because I'm going to solder my touchpad. Because the only real things you need to solder are your touchpad and your trigger. So if you don't want those 2, then all the parts from soldering, you can just skip them. So here we got the touchpad. Now you want to unscrew these 2 screws if it's already customized, but if it's just a regular PS5, there's only 1 screw over here. So let me just unscrew these real quick. Now you should have something that looks like this. You see the little motherboard and you see the ribbon. They're all exposed. Everything's exposed. and it should get off of this part pretty easily. But I also customized it. Otherwise, you'd have to like shimmy it and really get it off. But if you see my last video, this is a customized one. So yeah, now you want to heat up your soldering iron. I have a soldering iron, and you want to heat it up to 305 Celsius to 400 Celsius and get ready to solder. Now you're going to want to take out this ribbon right here. I just want to take it out, put it somewhere you won't forget. And you see this little dot right here? There's a little dot right here. That's where we're going to solder the wire to. So now you want to go to the bag with all your wires. So let me go over here. When you got the soldering kit, and you want to pour out some of the stuff. Well, all of it really. Okay, now that you have everything, you're going to want to get this, move everything to the side, and you're going to want to get this little tiny wire. Now, what you're going to do with this little wire is solder it to this little dot right here. That little dot right there. You're going to want to get your soldering iron and do that. So let me do that real quick because it's going to take some very precise, first you want to, solder the dot, and then you're going to add the wire. So let me do that real quick. Now it should look something like this. Once you solder it and everything, first you want to solder it with the iron, and then you want to add the wire. Now what you want to do is you want to get your cover back, and you want to get the wire through this little hole. So your brand new wire that you just added, move it through the hole. And then you want to bring it down. And then when you're in this position, you want to get your ribbon back. You want to add it back to the board. Boom. So you have it back to the board. Now you also want to bring the ribbon back through the little hole, not interfering with the wire too much. And then what you want to do is once you have a position that's like this, you want to screw back in your hole. For me, it's both of them. So let me do that real quick. Now you should have something that looks like this, with both of the screws in and everything is good. Now what you want to do is you want to put this back into your little front shell controller. You want to put this back. So let me put this back. Now it should look something like this. Now you want to move this out of the way and get back your main board. And since I've already customized this, it has the purple controllers, but mine might be a little different. So you want to find the little one right here, this button right here, and then this one right over here. This one and this one. This one and this one. Remember those because these are the ones you're going to both solder. Now you're going to want to get a cable from the package you just opened that looks like this. It should say, mine says BDM 30, but yours might be different. If you're BDM 10 or BDM 20, it's a whole different thing. But see, it says L3 and R3. Now I know it's a bit tedious, but you want to line these up with what you're connecting it with. So it's going to be like this. You're going to line it up to that one. You're also going to line it up to that one. So see how this is perfect? Now, once you got in the place you want, what I would do is I would just use a little bit of tape to hold it where you want it. At least that's what I'm doing. I'm going to use a little bit of tape. So yeah, a little bit of tape. They're in the exact positions I want them. Now you want to get your soldering iron and your wire in the exact spots to solder these 2 points. So let me do that real quick because I can't do it with the the camera right in front of me. So let me do this real quick. So yeah, you should get something that looks along the line of that. 2 points soldered, and let me just remove the pieces of tape. Boom, the 2 pieces of tape are removed, and I got all the points soldered. So now, what you want to do, you're going to grab this part. You also want to make sure that says R3, and this says L3. And it does, so that's what you want. You want to get your plate back. You want to get to all your big motherboard. You want to move the wire around. You want to get up here. You want to get everything positioned the way you like. Make sure this cord's still up here. And then you still got the little wire you just soldered. And now what you would want to do is once you got everything in the place like that it should be, you want to move this plate back. So let me get this plate back. Once this plate's out of the way, you want to look for something right here. And then you want to grab something from the bag that you opened. You want to grab this little foam insert. Now, you want to probably grab it with like tweezers or something. I got a good set of tweezers right here. I'm just going to grab one of them, one of these little pads. What you want to do is you want to place it underneath this little piece of plastic right here. I'm going to place it underneath. So just let me place this underneath the little piece of plastic. Scooch it back some more. Boom. It's right there. It's all good. Now you want to bring this little piece back over and push it down and fit it with the pegs. You want to make sure it fits in the pegs. Then you want something looking like this, where it's still over the little foam piece you just added. Now you want to grab this little ribbon from the little bag that you opened from the kit that you got. And you want to look right here. It says touch key. And now what you want to do is you want to put it in like a position like this. You want to grab this little cable and then you want to solder. So you see this little thing that says touch key? The little thing that says touch key. Let me get all up close. The little thing right there. It says touch key. That's what you want to solder. So you want to get your iron, and then you want to solder touch key, and then solder the ribbon to it. Let me do that real quick. Now you want to get your cable that you had, your little wire, and solder it to the touch key. And boom. Once you got that, then take this little piece of sticky adhesive off. So it should be sticky. What you want to do is there's about 3 holes right here, 1, 2, and 3. And you want to line it up with those holes perfectly. You want to just line it up perfectly. So let me line this up perfectly real quick. Now once you got all 3 holes perfectly aligned up, it's going to look like something like this. You want to bring this whole deck back down. You know, swing this around up there. Make sure this cord doesn't get stuck. Make sure it gets through. I want to make sure all the little ribbons, cables, and everything gets to the top, which I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. It should look something like this. So now you want to reattach a bunch of your ribbons. Now you want to reattach these 2 ribbons, this ribbon, and this ribbon. So we do that real quick. Now all of my ribbons are reattached and all good. And now what you want to do after you reattach all your ribbons, now you want to bring your panel from earlier, bring it back, make sure it doesn't interfere with anything major. Make sure it just goes back the same way it was when you first unscrewed it. And then you want to screw it back onto the thing. Now when you're screwing this back, do not screw it too tightly because this ribbon, it's not perfect, you know, but you don't want the ribbon to break. So let me just screw it just enough. There we go. That's just enough for the ribbon not to like break and everything's good. So you want something that kind of looks like this at this particular point in the moment. Now you want to get your, battery back. I'll plug it back in. So let me get it to the way it was before. Yeah, it was like this. I'll plug it back in. And you want to replace it to where it was. And this is where we're going to do some major. Now, once you have everything looking like this, your battery back in, and its little, holster spot. See this little adhesive tape on the ribbon? You want to take it off, and you want to apply it to the battery. You want to apply it like this. like that. You want to apply it like this. You don't want to push on it too hard, but you definitely want to push on it enough for it to like feel applied, you know. And then that should be pretty good. Now you want to swing your little cord around, make sure it gets out of the way. Make sure like tuck it into this corner over here or something. Get it out of the way, you know. Take some arranging, but I got my little cord stashed away into there, out of the way, out of the picture, so everything is like all smooth and stuff. There we go. See, there's a little piece right here. You want to grab this ribbon, connect it into that port right here. You want to connect it into that port. The light's a little bright, I know, so let me get closer. You want to connect this ribbon into that little port right there. You want to fiddle with that around for a little bit, and then you can really press it in there. There's like a little thing you have to open up, and then boom, once your ribbon is in this position, you want everything in this position, guys, okay? This is like vital. You want everything looking like this. Now what you want to do is you want to re-screw back these sections. So let me do that real quick. Now once you got everything looking like this, you want to move that out of the way and get your back little shell cover for your controller. And you want to open the bag with all the pieces in it. Now, I have the only 2-button one because I don't need the 4 buttons. And, yeah. So you want to get your little case, put it right here, and you want to get your little buttons. And just in case of anything, clear out the little hole here. Now, once you clear out both of the little controllers joints, you should look through it and see like a clear view through it, which I do. You want to set them up into this position. So let me get that one right there, and it's this one right here. So these will go like that. Now, there should be some metal rods in the thing you got. So I see some metal rods over here. Metal rod looking things. Now you want to get the metal rod and put it through your buttons, your back buttons. Should look something like that. And then we do the same thing for the other back button. Should look like that. Now, there's little connectors here. You want to just kind of connect that to the back. And then do the same for the other side. Just want to connect it to the back. It should look something like this. Now you're going to flip your back casing around and line these holes with these ones so you can screw them in. And it kind of like slots in. And then you want to flip it around, and then you want to screw 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 holes. So let me screw those in real quick. So now the screws are black and kind of hard to see on a black background, but I screwed all of the 4 pegs. Now, you want to get back your controller, and you want to slide this ribbon through this little slot, and you want to kind of fit it on. So when you get something like this, you want to go back to your bag, you'll find this little circuit board. What you want to do is you want to connect this ribbon to the circuit board. So then once the ribbon is fully like connected like that, you want to bring this board up and put it into its little areas. It should look something like this now, okay? Now, what you want to do is you want to get some screws. And these are like super, super tiny screws. So be very careful when screwing this in. Now, once you've gotten everything to this position like this, everything's connected, everything's screwed in, these are screwed in, that peg is right there, the connection to the back ribbon is supported, everything is working, you want to clip this, this is it. If you have everything, your faceplate hooked up, everything hooked in, if your back buttons all sorted and everything, then this is it. Yeah, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you have any questions or anything, put them in the comments below. And yeah, just tell me if I helped you out or not. And hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.